Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment views from the 22 live on the scene. Make sure you got us on Twitter, scene underscore the, on Instagram, the dot scene. Make sure you following us on YouTube, Facebook, everything.com coming soon. Vic Jr., Germ So True with me. Fellas, before I toss it to True, we got a lot to cover tonight. We had two primetime matchups, but we may have the best Super Bowl matchup ever in 2 weeks. And I cannot wait to. I haven't talked to y'all all day. I really haven't talked to anybody outside of work all day. So I don't even know what Vic is thinking. I don't know what Germ is thinking. They don't know what I'm thinking. I just know we got the best 45 to 60 minute of football talk that you will find anywhere on these interweb streets. True?
Let me just start off here, man. First of all, how y'all doing? Y'all, everybody good? How's everybody
Everybody
doing? Everybody
good.
good?
Everybody good.
Everybody good? Okay.
We here. We here, we
Oh,
here, we here.
okay. All right. Let's just get
Woosah.
yeah, very good.
Oh,
That's Hirsch. Just everybody just Hirsch.
Poppy, that's daddy, right?
Yes, yeah, very good. Very good, Mo. I want to start with this one thing. The first thing that we're going to talk about this evening is let's start with the positive. Let's start with Pat Mahomes. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills and those things first. Let's start there.
Okay.
So Pat Mahomes and that great offense to go along with that opportunistic defense, they took care of business 38-24. Mahomes played pretty well. Josh Allen played like SH. And if y'all know what that means, like that's what my grandma would say, SH, if you know what I mean. Um, it is what it is. These are things that I was worried about Josh Allen. I expressed this to Mo. I expressed this out loud at the beginning of the playoffs. I said Josh Allen is that Ferrari that you don't know if you can take on this snowy, bumpy road that you're getting ready to embrace going to the playoffs. And Mo's response was, talk your talk, Germ. Talk your talk.
I mean,
So
you didn't have to say it the
now,
way I said. You didn't have to say it in
yeah,
my tone either. But
yeah,
all
yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah, I
Talk your
got
talk,
you.
Germ. Talk your talk. So my thing is, I need an understanding of why Josh Allen played the way he played. So of course we want to go and we want to watch some film on it. We're gonna have a lab show on Thursday about that. We're gonna save that part. Vic, what was the most disappointing thing that you got from that game yesterday?
Um, I don't know. Honestly, bro, it kind of went the way what I expected. There's no balance there. Um, Josh, again, there was a period where he looked outstanding throughout the regular season. That started to diminish as the playoffs went along. The running game is just non-existent. There's nothing. There's no power running game to take pressure off of him. Um, just to keep the defense honest, and I mean it shows. He's a kid with a special arm, but he still has some adjustments to make. Young quarterback, and he's got some plays that they ask him to do a lot of plays where they gotta go throw deep, and he's not yet ready for that kind of stage when it comes to that. So I'm just looking forward to the kid's future. I think they got to the championship game. Nobody expected that. So I'm just looking forward to the kid's future. I think he had an outstanding regular season, but the playoffs it was a little overwhelming it seemed, and they need to help him out with that.
Well, to me, Germ, disappointments only come with expectations. And to be honest with you, Josh Allen exceeded my expectations. In terms of last night's matchup, disappointment wasn't necessarily on my mind. Intrigue, curiosity, um, and I guess excited to see how this kid continues to develop. Because while I mean, whatever my stance was on him in the past, the beautiful thing about the lab, I always say this, the beautiful thing about the lab is it constantly gives you an opportunity to evolve. And that goes for player and that goes for the fans of the game. The fans who know what the game is, not the crazy ones. We don't, that's not us. And I think for Josh Allen, I'm curious to see what's next. I'm anxious to see if he's going to continue to grow. And I'm excited to see if maybe not next year or or maybe 2 years from now, if he can really challenge Patrick Mahomes to get to that next level, to get to that February game. As we've seen, despite the quarterback that we're going to talk about a little later, getting to the Super Bowl is a hard thing to do. Only in the NFL is getting to a championship an actual accomplishment. Maybe the NL pennant and the MLB pennant. I don't think so. The NBA finals, not so much either. It truly feels like it's just in the NFL where if you make it to the Super Bowl, that in itself means something. And rightfully so. It's a long season and it's a grind and it's 19 weeks of a crash course every year on how can I get better, how are teams defending me, yada 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 yada. And so I'm just curious to see if Josh is going to continue to take it to that other level, or if he does what so many other quarterbacks did before him, feels himself a little bit, thinks that he's figuring it all out, hits a wall, and never gets over that wall. That's what I'm looking forward to seeing.
So here's the key. Josh doesn't play good in certain situations. Number one, if the defensive coordinator moves people around and confuses him, you're going to get a guy who's going to play more erratic, like a chicken with his head cut off. Mm-hmm. What we've seen is late movement, as we illustrated it before in the live. Late movement of your defense confuses this kid. He's not there yet. So some people say, well, Germ, why aren't you guys as hard as on Josh Allen as you're on Lamar Jackson? Well, here's one reason why. One reason why is at least I know Josh Allen is good at throwing the football down the field.
Shade.
Way different arm talents.
Shade.
The second thing is we have to make sure we understand another thing that's very important here. The second and most important part of this is Josh Allen has shown he can actually read a defense. May not be the greatest, but he's shown signs of it. And that's a key in any situation. So why I'm not going to sit here and critique Josh, but so far, is because Josh has made it farther than Lamar, number one. And number two, Josh is still the better quarterback. Can he play better? Yes. Did he play like trash? Yes. You can't play like trash and then not expect for me to give you that energy. He played like trash. It is what it is. As far as the defense goes for the Buffalo Bills, you overthought this. You didn't think about it. You overthought this. You put your Tre'Davious White on Tyreek Hill too many times, and that backfired on you. You did a lot of things just defensively that didn't make sense. You played too much zone. Travis Kelce ate you up. Every time you was in a zone coverage, Travis Kelce got the ball. You couldn't tackle Tyreek Hill in space. I don't know what was wrong with y'all. You looked slow. You looked lethargic. You just didn't look fast. You're just gonna be honest.
Unmotivated.
That's just being honest. So defensively, fellas, what do you have anything for him defensively?
For the Bills?
Yes.
Well, clearly they didn't watch the show. And Sean McDermott should go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel because they would have had a much better game plan had they just watched the show. And like you said, Germ, they put him on it too many times. They tried zone too many times. And it was just it was pitch and catch too many times throughout the night. And the pass rush, the pressure in general really could have been a lot better from the Bills standpoint, in my opinion.
Vic, just take it, Vic.
I mean, you got pretty much covered it. We discussed it. They could have mixed some things up. I mean, like we said, they exceeded expectations. So why don't you just throw any option out there? Why don't you just take any risk out there? I think there was only one play where I saw Tre'Davious was covering Kelsey, and that's because he lined up all the way outside, and he still won that matchup. So they could have mixed it up. They could have mixed it up several times, and I don't know. It just seemed like an unmotivated football team for their biggest game of basically their whole lives there in that roster. What, Cole Beasley's like the only one that played some playoff games.
Cole never played in a conference championship game.
Oh yeah, I mean, but he's played some playoff games, and maybe
Stephon Diggs has 38-7.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's like throw everything out there, and they didn't. And mixed with the fact that they can't run the football, that defense was exposed to a monster out there.
A monster indeed.
And you could tell they got frustrated with the little squabbles they had here and there.
Of course, because they realized they were getting outclassed. Yeah. They realized they were outmatched, and they also realized that it shouldn't be this bad. That they should have been more prepared. That they should have executed better. But hey, it's football. It's one game.
They started off 9-0, y'all. 9-0 is how they started.
Yeah.
And then they got to it. So you started off 9-0, and the score got to 38-24.
That was 2 times they could have scored in the red zone too.
Didn't they recover? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. Wasn't it 2 trips out of those 9 points that they were in the red zone? If I'm not mistaken.
No, it was it was two possessions, but they got a punt that they had. They got a punt return that was botched, and then they end up scoring off of that. But even still, can't run the football. Hey, guess what? You made it this far not being able to run the football because you went up against another team that all they can do is run the football. Irony at its finest.
No, I mean, one thing I could take from it though is that they did play with some passion in terms of defending each other, as we saw with the Josh Allen situation there.
Sure.
It seemed like they got a little upset. So
Josh Allen.
I mean,
he shouldn't have threw the damn ball at somebody's face.
But see, again, Vic, let's remember this, right? There's a Buffalo Bills team every year in the NFL. What I mean by that is there's a team every year exceeds expectation. You look at their nucleus, you look at this quarterback, you look at this and that and the other thing, and you say, oh, they'll be back next year. And guess what? They never come back. Look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. We thought that defense was going to run the AFC for a little while. Boom. Never been there. Steelers, AB and Le'Veon Bell, when they were there, they made it to the conference championship one time, never to come back. I mean, the list goes on and on. We'll see what the 49ers do. We clearly saw the Eagles were a one-hit wonder. I mean, it's just every year there's a team where it's like, this is your year because nobody is expecting you. But now when the expectations come, the performance, the results, everything just diminishes. And championship windows in the NFL don't last 6-7 years. Hell, they don't even last 5. If they last 4 years, you are doing something incredible. NFL championship windows are 3 years, unless you have Tom Brady or
I was gonna say, are you insinuating something?
Patrick Mahomes is approaching
and Mo, the only part we disagree on is I think the window is kind of a 3 to 5 year window. And it really depends on your roster. Mm-hmm. It depends on the state of your quarterback. It depends on so many different things.
Right.
That's why I say it's like that 3 to 3. I don't think 3 years is bad. I just think it's 3 to 5. I think that's literally your window, but you got to make something happen.
The reason it's 5
is 3 years, right? Carson Wentz was year 3 that they made it to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm. Might have been year 2.
So year 2 or 3. So you see that?
3.
So, but because he was drafted in 16,
right?
So they made it that was 18. So that would have been 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19. So 18, 19 is the year that the Patriots won. Then 19, 20, the Chiefs won.
Yes, exactly. So it was the second year.
Yep. So second year. give or take. The point is, you see that 3-year window, it closed fast.
Right. Right. Now let me amend it because you're absolutely right about the 3 to 5 thing. It's just year 1 and year 2 is when you sort of start creeping it open.
Mm-hmm.
And then year 3 to 5,
That's when you bust
that's
it
when
open.
it's really open.
Yep.
That's when you gotta go get it.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely there.
Yeah, so that's the only part that we're not even really divided on it. That's the
No, we're
only
just
just
amending
the
it.
terminology is just a
Yeah.
little bit different. But that's how fast when it all falls down. Seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we're in a situation now where Cleveland made it to the semis now in 4 years of having Baker. Here comes the 5th year, Vic. Here comes this dreaded 5th year where we get the option. Mind you, this is Myles Garrett's 5th year. He's getting ready to be paid next year. Big boy money.
His
God.
contract's guaranteed.
I have so
Yeah.
much to say about the Browns. We'll leave that for another show.
We will.
Yeah, I
But
have so much to say about the Browns.
oh, I do too, because it's a lot of things that I'm disgusted with,
Absolutely.
just in general. But
Mhm.
that is the reason why we are here today, though. Like Buffalo, I love what you said there, Mo. I love the way you worded that. We see Buffaloes every year, man. What's gonna make them unique is if Josh Allen is consistent.
Continues to progress,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to be the difference. And if Josh Allen can be consistent, then that'll be what takes them to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. You got to get better in the film room. The film room is where he's going to have to get better. Period. Now, the moment that y'all been waiting for, we got everybody here on the views.
We got
Shout
16
out to the
views right now.
comments. Shout out to the people in the comments. Look, I want everybody to comment, say whatever you need to say in the comments. Aggravated
Yep.
Journey will be on for the last 10 minutes of the show. I come in peace until then. I just want y'all to know we watched a game where we seen both teams leave points on the field. I watched Tom Brady have 2 instances with Mike Evans where Mike Evans, number 1, could have made the catch.
Yeah.
Or number 2, Mike Evans did a terrible job of tracking the ball. The number one thing that you as a receiver have over the defensive back is that you know what is happening based on the quarterback and what they're telling you before they snap the ball. And what is Tom Brady that most quarterbacks is not? An excellent communicator. So when you seen a blitz and you knew that 12 had to drop back and you knew he had to execute a fake, the first thing you should have been saying is I can beat Jair because I'm 6'5". But also, wherever Brady tells me he's going to throw this ball, I'm going to go get it. And it won't be an interception.
Mm.
This fool took off down the field and didn't even look back. Now, I love Jair Alexander. Y'all know how much I love Jair Alexander. That's my prize secondary possession right there. That's my guy who I've shown y'all Germ can cover corners. That's my cover corner right there. Vic knows. Me and Vic argued about him and Josh Jackson for months. He was like, all right, Germ, I'm going to roll with you. And that was the best decision he made probably in scouting, was rolling with me on that one. Now, I got some ones that I rolled with him too on. But that was his best decision to roll with me with Jair.
Mm-hmm.
Because that dude's ball skills are elite. Elite. How did he play the ball better than Mike Evans? And Mike Evans, if I see another ball hit your hands and you drop it, you're just going to be sitting on the bench. I can't do nothing with that. I can't do anything with that, bro. All the interceptions were going to Mike Evans. That starts to not look like Mike Evans. That starts to not look like Tom Brady. That starts to look like Mike Evans. Have we ever seen Brady throw 3 times to one player and get 3 interceptions out of it? The answer to that question is hell no, we have not. Mo, you don't even got to think about it.
There was this one time, no.
Oh,
Oh man, who was it? I'm not gonna put Deion Branch on blast like that because that was his boy. But it might have been Deion Branch. And or was it?
It was Brandon Cooks. Brandon
No, it
Cooks was
wasn't
one of them.
Well,
But Cooks was
I'm
twice.
thinking of a game against Denver early in his career.
Oh, okay.
But I'll remember that for a later show. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just my mind.
No, absolutely. But Brandon Cooks comes to mind because Xavier Howard took his heart out his chest
twice.
Showed him his heart was pumping Kool-Aid.
Yep.
In that Dolphins game. Yeah.
Yep.
I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that I'm there for. So, fellas, in this game, what was the most disappointing takeaway? Either side. Vic, I'm gonna start with you.
Either side. I mean, I guess I'm sure we'll get to A-Rod after this, but I guess with the Bucs, first and foremost, it was 6 drops out of the receivers. I think that obviously, showed a little bit of some of the things they need to catch up on when it comes to getting to what Brady's expecting out there. And no, we're not excusing Brady. There was one throw that I wish he would have not attempted, and that was that loft that he threw. I don't know if Jeremy referring to that one that fell way short, like 5 yards short. But,
the one that was on the inside when Mike Evans was on the outside. That one was unacceptable. That first one
was a bad throw.
That was bad.
That was he had 2 bad throws, and that was one of them.
Right. Mm-hmm. So we agree to that. Other than that, I don't know. I don't know what else to expect from the Packers. Maybe the running backs fumbling the ball away. Other than that, I'm sure we'll discuss it more, and especially in the film study on Thursday. A-Rod was pretty disappointing. And again, this is why we watch the tape. But go ahead, Mo.
Most disappointing part to me was that you had 2 backup safeties in the entire second half, and you didn't take advantage of that. You didn't exploit that. The number one way the Packers get big plays is by moving the safeties. None of that happened in this game, and they had backup safeties. The number 2 most disappointing thing to me, and the biggest takeaway for me, and perhaps the biggest reason why the Packers lost this game, was Aaron Rodgers' ability to capitalize. Number 1 in the red zone, number 2 in those turnovers. You cannot get 3 consecutive possessions off a turnover in the playoffs and only come away with 6 points at home in a conference championship game against Tom Brady. That is unacceptable. And when you got Devontae Adams and a pretty good offensive line, despite the left tackle who struggled yesterday, you got a good offense, you got a good running game, you're the MVP of the league, allegedly. You better get some more points out of that. And then in the red zone, that first sequence in the early in the game, 3 plays they ran, 3 passing plays, 3 guys open. Matter of fact, 4 guys open because 2 were open on 1 play. Check the tape. 3 points.
We saw it already.
Terrible.
We saw it already.
Terrible.
We saw it already, and we already have the stamps. All right, Germ said, "Nah, Vic, we're gonna save it for next."
Oh, y'all watched the tape already?
Yeah,
I watched.
We were just watching it, bro.
I saw you were watching
in.
some clips. I didn't think you were watching.
No.
The whole game. We saw the whole game.
No.
We saw the whole game already.
It's
I
no
just
play.
remember it from the broadcast yesterday.
There is no. I was telling Vic where some of the plays were. He was like, "Yo, that was this." I was like, "No, that's the second quarter." I even pointed out a play that Aaron Rodgers missed of wide open Devontae Adams that would have been a touchdown. That was earlier at 7:52 in the fourth quarter. That would have, in the 7:52 in the third quarter after they had just got a punt.
Yeah.
You said you didn't have enough time, but that right there would have saved you time.
Apparently, the film is available for my account. Not. I don't think it's ready for yours yet. But
for real,
I've been watching it for the last 4 hours, bro. It's listen. Not only what you said is disappointing. The amount of misses in this game is beyond. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like, people gotta watch, man.
So
they gotta change this MVP voting strategy. I don't know, dog. This is sad.
I'm gonna read 3 comments, and then the third comment is gonna take us back to this game. I just don't want to get too away from the comments.
Oh, I was actually gonna go there too. I was actually gonna let y'all finish.
Well, but I want to respond to something real quick about this game.
Okay, go ahead.
So first thing is, Kenneth said, I called it last week when the Bills played the Ravens. If they played like that, the Chiefs would walk away with it. That is 100% accurate because with Patrick Mahomes, you got to be at your best. And Tanya basically echoed the same thing. KG said, the touchdown the Packers gave up in the end of the second quarter was the Jets coordinator out there with the play call. Hardy har, real funny. I get it. I'm gonna say this. I think it was more bad judgment than it was just a poor decision. I think it was a bad play call than it was just a horrible decision because they were trying to remember the Buccaneers had no timeouts. So they were trying to keep everything short and sweet. They were protecting the boundaries. They forgot to do a better job of protecting deep, and that's where they failed. So I'm not going to kill, as much as I would love to kill a former Jets defensive coordinator, I am not going to kill Mike Penton. I just think it was poor preparation on their part as to how they exactly need to communicate that football situation.
So watch this. Let's go here. KG, I want you to win because I think KG's a Game Pass guy as well. KG, I want you to go look at that play, and I want you to DM me and let me know if you can tell me what defense they're playing. That's the key to the play right there. You called the wrong defense. That's the whole key right there. You did not call the right defense because when you call the defense that you called, you didn't call the defense that you should have called, which should have been more of a quarters coverage.
Right.
A quarters coverage where there should have been 4 guys deep. You called more of a cover 3 defense, which was 3 guys deep and in thirds. But what you also did was you forgot that this Scotty Miller was faster than Mike Evans. You forgot that Scotty Miller was faster than Chris Godwin. You forgot that Scotty Miller was a burner. And then you got him on a leggy, excuse my, it's scouting season, baby. You got him on a leggy, lanky corner, which means when he got behind him and he got even, the reason when Brady threw that ball, they were even. When Brady threw that ball, Scotty went to gear 5. Kevin King said, check engine. That's what his thing said.
But listen,
and
with all due respect.
And that was a perfect throw.
Bro, with all due respect to our Caucasian.
No, bro, it was a cover 3, brother. Brother, it was a cover 3. Because the safety was in the middle of the field, and you had your boundary corners go to the boundaries. So that was
share the screen?
Cover 3.
Do we want to share the screen now, or you want to say?
No, we'll wait. We'll wait. Don't worry, because KG's family. He can always come into the studies, and he can come study with KG. You know how we are, bro. You know you're a brother of the program, brother of mine. You always allowed to come into the film room, and I'll show you the whole thing of what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying that, and I'm not even saying that to be funny. What I'm saying is because I want people to understand when these people call defenses, this is where we are in our lab process. I want to know what you called and why you called it. Why was this the play call here? And they didn't believe. What they did was they forgot personnel. Mm-hmm. KYP, know your personnel. But sometimes you got to know the other team's personnel. Mm. And that's what happened. They didn't expect. They expected, can we be honest? They expected a Mike Evans jump ball.
Or a quick
Gronkowski. And as soon as Brady seen that they were covering the boundaries and protecting the deep throws to the big players, where did he go?
Boom.
He flipped his hips, stepped to the left, patted the ball, and put that spiral saber on it. Shout out to my Power Rangers and Space fans. God, spiral saber, because it cut through the air perfectly, flawless.
Yeah. And let's not forget what put them in that position, Germ. That's the most important thing to me, ladies and gentlemen. The most important sequence of that game was the last minute of the first half and the first minute of the second half. That was the game right there. Score was 14-10, Packers driving. At worst, you get a field goal, you go into halftime, you're down 1. What happens? Aaron Rodgers, ball was late. I don't care what anyone says. Ball was late. Ball was inaccurate. Ball was intercepted.
Which one?
Period.
The Sean Murphy bumped it.
Right. And then you had the fumble. And boom, that's a 14
No,
point
but
swing.
bro,
Matter
so
of fact,
that
let's keep it real. That's a 17-point swing in a matter of 2 actual game minutes. And all of a sudden the score is 28-10 when you
okay.
should have been going into halftime only down by 1 or up by 3.
Then there was that 3-play sequence to Devontae Adams in the second quarter that he missed. He missed all 3
In the red zone?
in the red zone.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was talking about earlier. Bro, that sequence, 3 plays, 4 guys were open. 3 different plays.
And if you
was open on each play, and on one of the plays, 2 guys was open.
yes, and if you didn't notice, they were the same formation for all 3 plays. The same formation
Mo.
for all. Like, if this can't get any more basic for you, I don't know what else, dog.
See, so
You're
I
a
want you.
basic man.
You
So
saying,
let me-
watch
the
the show.
Packers wear pink on Wednesdays? That's what you're saying, Vic?
You know, we're pink on Valentine's Day too.
So look, Mo. Not only was it the same play, you can tell what the whole point of the formation was, because you know what you had. You had that imbalanced formation with the running back out wide, your receivers in the inside, your tight end and your running back lined up on one side of the field, and a trips formation on the opposite side of the field. Same kind. I already know what y'all doing. That is the quickest way to identify what man or zone.
Yes.
And every time, what did they line up in? For the most part, man coverage.
zone. Yep.
So again, this is not nobody picking on Aaron Rodgers. I'm just, look, ladies and gentlemen, here's where I am. I am no longer slandering players. I have nothing to say. I'm going to put on the all 22. I'm going to put on the eye in the sky. I'm going to tell you what's going on right in front of your eyes, and I'm going to let y'all decide.
Thank you.
At the
Thank
end
God.
of the day, I want it to be understood. I don't have any malice in my heart. I don't have a dog in the fight. I want to see a good football game. That's what I want to see at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do I
Agreed.
like Tom Brady? Absolutely. Because when I watch Tom Brady, I see somebody who cares every throw. When I watch Aaron Rodgers, I don't see the same energy. And I'm just being honest with y'all when I say that. I don't have any dog in the fight. That's all I'm trying to say. So when we watch the Super Bowl, hopefully we have fun with it. I hope it's a 43-40 game.
Don't matter who wins.
Hey.
At this
Honestly.
point, I don't care. If Brady could lose, I don't care anymore. He's already established. He's already established to me what it is.
Let's now.
He could lose. They gonna come back
Easy.
next year anyway.
Real quick, I'm gonna read some comments real quick, and then I'm gonna go forward. Then we'll go forward. Shouts out to Trav. Like I said, KG. I'll talk to you. I'll shoot you a message, and one day when we got some time, we'll go over some stuff because you're my guy, and I want you to see it. I just want you to see it.
He
bro.
could jump in. He could jump in with one of our studies the next couple
Yeah.
of nights or something.
Yeah,
Anytime.
absolutely. Man, KG family.
Anybody? No,
Hey,
anybody.
come
Well,
kick
not
your feet
anybody.
up. You know, yeah. Hey, shout
Listen,
out to
thank
Kenneth.
God. Yeah,
Shout
go
out
ahead,
to
go ahead,
Kenneth. He said, I'm hoping the Chiefs can do what the Seahawks couldn't and repeat the back-to-back Super Bowl champs against Brady-led team. As much as I respect Russ, I think Patrick can actually do it. That's fair. Patrick is the one guy that Brady has to come up and play his best game against, because
Mhm.
30 minutes of Patrick can overwhelm just about anybody. Film don't lie. That's what Trav said. It doesn't. Film over feelings, Chief. Artie says Adam should have had the ball on the first down for sure, though. Let me help you right here, Artie. I'm going to tell you again. Same invitation goes. I'm not trying to be funny, but there is a lot of stuff that we have to watch when we watch stuff like this. Mechanics, everything. When Rodgers threw that ball, he threw it to the back. He didn't throw it to the back shoulder. He threw it back and away. Why are we throwing a ball here to have a receiver have to catch it on a back shoulder? Back shoulder is here. So now my mechanics go from here to catch the ball. If I'm catching the ball in this radius, that's different because that's all hands. Catching the ball here, I have to get the ball here on my hands this way, and I have to be able to grip it and bring it into my body.
Right.
If the ball comes fast, I have to be able to pick the ball up and bring it into my body while contorting my body. So you're asking me and you're asking this player when we had it was a tight split in the formation. The formation when he lines up, we're not talking about you lining up on the actual outside the numbers. He lined up inside the numbers to give him enough room to be able to hit the back pylon or the front pylon on this play. When I did that, the first thing that Troy Aikman said is, and I will remember what he said, because at this time, I had actually turned the volume on for a second, because I normally watch it on mute, unless Tony Romo is commentating. What he said is, he said, with the split being a lot closer to the line of scrimmage, that gives him a lot more room to work with over here for Davante Adams to be able to run his route. So be on the lookout for this. He ran the exact route that Troy said he was going to run. Aaron missed him. That's on Aaron. Aaron has to make a better throw.
Davante would tell you that he should have caught that ball.
Of course.
But there was, like you said, not only there was enough space between Davante and the sideline, you can also put a little bit of loft. If you wanted him to adjust his body and go towards the sideline to catch that ball, he could have done that too. This time he lasered it to his back shoulder before Davante could even adjust to it. It was already off his hands. So there's a lot. I mean, and that, again, this is why we watch these angles, man, because listen, man, this is crazy.
So here's another comment. Tonray Frankins. What up, Tonray? Welcome to the show, Tonray. Good to see you in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely, brother.
My only thing about that game was, why didn't Aaron run late to go make the fourth down play shorter than take the field goal?
That's another one.
That's a spectacular point, because I heard people after the game saying, oh, he should have ran it in. No, he wouldn't have made it. But he should have made it a more manageable down. 100%.
Because if a 4th and 2 from the goal line has your whole playbook open.
It allows you to do different things but here's another thing though, and I'm gonna just spin it this way, right? If you are somewhere in goal to go, if you are inside the 15, your whole playbook is already open, because it's 25 yards. That's 25 yards of area that you have to work with. And if you notice, the first touchdown of the game, I don't know what Jeremy's laughing at.
Yeah.
Dog. Wait. Yeah. Hey, man, I got Big Shot voice in my head right now, and I'm going to tell y'all what it is.
He's saying he got a few bars today. He feeling
No. It's something he said last night that had me in tears, and it almost got me.
Yo, if y'all don't know Big Shot, man,
yeah,
that man,
Big Shot,
entertaining as hell. Yo.
Big Shot is savage.
Hey, let me
he
tell you
might be
something.
the most practical one, but don't let that fool you.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something.
Funniest dude.
Yo. He said this is why I'm laughing, because the reason why he seen Aaron Jones over there on that sideline, and Big Shot said,
I must have missed this one.
Yo, he said, Aaron Jones sitting over there, sitting on the sideline like David Chappelle. I'm bleeding in my chest.
Yo, he was making faces. Yo, what was that? Why was he making faces? Like,
oh
my God. If you was that hurt, you should have been in the locker room.
Yo, yeah, I'm bleeding in my chest.
I forgot what we was talking about.
Hey, man. When he said that, I said, listen, that's why Aaron Rodgers ain't take off, because he ain't want to be like Aaron Jones.
He want to be like Aaron Jones. Hey.
No, Devontae.
Saying that was a busy decision. Okay.
Devin would have caught up. Devin would have caught up to him. But you could have made it a 1 yard. You know what I'm saying? A goal with 1 yard left, and I don't know, get your big 28 in there. Get your big 28 to try to bring that ball in. Come on.
I mean, again, there's a lot they could have done, because even if they were from the 8-yard line, I know it's improbable. I know it is. And let me make this clear. I don't completely disagree with the decision to kick the field goal, because common sense says, regardless, we got to get a stop from our defense. We have all our timeouts. We get the ball back. We score a touchdown. We win. We don't have to worry about the 2-point conversion. Okay, I understand that. I do. But there's exceptions to everything. And the exception in this rule is you don't give the ball back to the greatest quarterback in the world. If you have in a free throw contest, you know what? Let me not bring. If you have in a free throw contest with Michael Jordan, okay, and you say, hey, you can hit 2 and win, or you make 1 and hopes he misses. I'm gonna try and make 2 because he ain't gonna miss. Same concept here. You gave the ball back to the GOAT, and the GOAT never gave it back because he's selfish like that. He wants the ball. And I thought that was in that situation, I got my MVP. I have the best red zone offense in the NFL and historically, statistically, the best ever. And I'm going to kick the field goal. I'm going to take 3. What's our mantra? We risk it all. It's the championship. I got Tom Brady on the other side of me. I know what he's going to do. I know what I need to do. And I think Aaron has every reason to be a little upset with that decision. Again, totally understand the thinking behind it. That doesn't mean I'm going to agree with it. That doesn't mean it wasn't the wrong decision.
You're not wrong. And listen, Matt LaFleur knows he was wrong. Can I be honest with y'all? I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Matt LaFleur didn't do that because any other there's one reason why he didn't do it, and this is that simple. He didn't trust his quarterback.
If he was 0 for 8 and red zone targets, no, sir, I exaggerated that, but he missed a lot of red zone targets. He missed a lot of red zone targets.
We got to make sure that we understand that
Todd Love says, "Word to Shane Falco, I want the ball." Vic, who's Shane Falco?
No freaking clue. Is that? Let me guess. Is that a major league reference?
It's not. It's a movie reference. You don't know who Shane Falco is?
No.
Oh boy, Germ.
Give it a laugh. You know what I mean?
Germ.
We'll work on him later. But I want people to understand something. And I just want, and like I said, I want you to understand because I want you to watch the game and understand what you're watching more than anything else. That showed me that LaFleur didn't believe in his quarterback. That shows that LaFleur watched him consistently miss guys wide open in the end zone. And what he simply said was, we're going to kick this field goal and we're going to handle this with our defense.
Right.
Because we feel like we may have a better chance. And Artie, I understand what you're saying. It did work in Kevin King, but it didn't work because you didn't get the ball back.
You didn't get the ball back. It didn't work. Again, the thinking is whatever, but still, you're at the 8-yard line, right? So that means you got 18 yards of 18 times 50 to work with. That's why the Buccaneers have a very successful play in the red zone, and as they do a twin stacks, they have the receiver that's stacked or stemmed, can't remember which one is which, but you have the receiver that's on the line of scrimmage run an out route, and the receiver that's stacked runs a corner route. That was the first touchdown of the game to Mike Evans. And they were inside the red zone, and you saw how much space he had to throw that ball with energy, velocity, depth, height, everything it needed to get to where it needed to get. Ultimately, this is why we talk about the red zone so much. This is why we talk about the difference between 6 and 3. Because at the end of the day, the third down and the red zone execution of the Buccaneers was marginally better, or exceptionally better, rather, than the Green Bay Packers. Last point I'll make, and because you keep this mic on for me, I'm gonna keep talking till they shut me out. Last thing I'm gonna say though, real quick, the turnovers. I understand Brady threw 3 interceptions, but the 3 interceptions he threw did not nearly have the consequences as that one crucial interception that Aaron Rodgers made. Because the 2, you could argue, hey, at least it flipped field position, right?
Yeah, because they were, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You see 25,
yeah.
And see, here's the thing as well. Them 3 interceptions again, bro. We gotta account for the fact that Mike, when Brady went over to the sideline with Mike Evans, did you see what Mike Evans did? Mike Evans was like this.
I apologize.
Yeah.
And Brady was like, "It's okay, baby. We got this." He was never mad at him. You can't
be mad at a player like Mike Evans.
You know why you can't be? I can.
I know you can.
but Brady can't. I get it. I understand. It's a difference. It's levels. It's levels.
Calm down. All right, it's just different.
Levels. It's levels.
It's
Now,
a difference.
This is levels. I like my
Not
levels better. But what I'm saying is, Mike was frustrated at that moment. And you know what Brady kept going to him saying? I believe in you. And that right there was a leadership moment that could have cost them the game. Because he could have went back to Godwin. He could have went to Gronk more. Or he could have took that ball and handed it right off into the gut of Leonard Fournette. But no, he kept going to Mike Evans.
Yo.
So I want y'all
Leonard
to understand.
Leonard Fournette had like 3 drops yesterday too, huh?
Yeah.
That's gonna happen.
There was a couple I missed.
That's gonna happen. That is one of the things you just gotta accept. That is not James White. That is not Deion Lewis. That is not Kevin Falk. We gotta just accept
Tanya, I can't.
as Brady.
Dear Tanya,
Enthusiasts.
dear, they're bad interceptions because they happen. But at some point, we have to talk about why.
No, she's saying the Green Bay's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Green Bay's bad that they ain't capitalized.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But with that being said, I'm looking because I don't.
Listen,
I don't want to do all of that. I don't want to do all of the hypotheticals with this game because I feel like we've already covered everything we need to cover, and besides letting the 22 film, all 22 show. But I want y'all in the comments. You know, we've got 10 minutes here before about 10 to 13 minutes here before we get ready to close down shop. I want y'all in the comments to give us all questions, any thoughts, anything like that. I'm about to read some of the comments right now because at the end of the day, we first of all, y'all are here, y'all are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, so we're gonna make sure we give y'all some time today. We got time for y'all today.
Yes, exactly.
You know, this is Fan Appreciation Day,
and
this is gonna be extended throughout the next couple of weeks until we get to Sunday.
Yo.
Because we'll be doing some live studies.
Yes.
We'll be doing a lot of fun stuff all this week. We got Wednesday is open, fellas. If we get some opportunities on Wednesday, we may do something Wednesday because Germ always got time for views.
Can I say something, please?
Yes, go ahead.
These next 2 weeks leading up to this game is going to be spectacular on the scene. Okay, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're in the groups, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, private stories, whatever. Okay. The scene got you covered on what is the greatest Super Bowl matchup ever. I cannot wait. I wish they play tomorrow, but I don't want them to because we got a lot of to do on this game. I said I keep saying that's it, but I'm lying because I'm excited. Like we got Mahomes versus Brady. We got the GOAT versus the up-and-coming GOAT. It doesn't matter who wins because we understand where they stand. When it's going to matter is in 15 years when he goes to retire and he's got a couple more of them rings. And now we go back and say, hey, remember 2021, though, so-and-so won that game. But right now, in this moment, we got the greatest ever versus the greatest right now. And I just know Tom, he is going to say, I got now. I don't care who's got next. It's 12, baby.
Look, 12 verse 15.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So Tanya says, right, Mo. Tanya, fix it. You know who I am. You know who I am, dear. Fix it. Don't be trying to come at me like that because I'll add you to the live. You know I will. Artie, Green Bay shouldn't get 21 of 21 on those. And he's saying because Tampa's defense and front seven is very, very, very good. I understand that, Artie. I just want you to remember that Aaron Rodgers' offense is historically good too. You don't throw 48 touchdowns and not be historically good. Matter of fact, he was 1 interception and 3 touchdowns away from his actual high, which his actual high was 45-6. Yeah, I know your quarterback too. Don't worry. I know him too.
So this was a career high, 48?
Yes, this was a career high 48. Aaron Rodgers has never thrown 50 touchdowns in the season. He's thrown 48 45, and I think he did like 42 before.
Ooh, we got some great comments in here, man. I want to respond to some of these.
I'm about to read them
Go
out.
ahead.
Kenneth Trotter, hypothetically, if the Chiefs were to pick off Brady 3 times, they're coming away with anywhere between 16 to 21 points. That's not an opinion. That's a damn near a certainty. And he says, sorry, 13 to 21. I agree, because you got to understand,
It's facts.
KC knows that they have to
It's
score
facts.
in order to win the game. They know they have to score in order for them to beat that team. And hell, that's part of the reason why they beat the Buccaneers early in the season. Besides Tyreek Hill ripping Carlton Davis a new one. Ham said he's coming through with historic content. We already know that. All right, our guy T, he says, do you think Tampa has let Tom run the offense, or does he still let them have some sort of control? Here's what I'll say to that. I know for a fact, we do know that Tom is a big part of the game plan. Him and Byron construct the game plan together. Bruce kind of just peeks his head in the room, throws in his input on some things that he sees as well. Byron does call the plays for the most part. Brady does get control of the offense.
I've seen Brady make some calls too. So
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's-
plenty.
I've seen Brady make some calls too.
It's a situation where they both do the same thing for each other. This is kind of a similar situation a little bit to New England. Only difference is Brady may have, if he had 40% of it or 50% in New England, he got about 60% of control of everything here in Tampa Bay. Fellas, anything you like that?
Vic, you want to go first?
No, I just basically added. I think that I've seen him make a few calls as well too. He's made some decisions on what he wants to do on certain drives. So
Right. Well, he's made more than
which
a few
speaks
calls.
volumes.
Yeah, because again, the number one thing you notice in Tampa is that Bruce is not afraid to give Tom Brady his proper due. Like Bill had his philosophy, and that's fine. That's on you, Bill. I'm not gonna say you were wrong. I'm gonna say you won 6, but it may have cost you a couple. That's what I'll say. But for Bruce, I think it's clear to see that he has really. I mean, you even saw it yesterday. First of all, when in life has a player gotten the trophy before the coach? That has never happened in the history of history. All right. That's number one. Number two, I think you can see that Bruce keeps talking about how Brady is basically an additional coach who's actually on the field. And I think as you see this offense, because we studied, as you read from chapter 1 to chapter 18, it says to be continued right now. When you read from all 18 chapters, you can see each chapter after each page is getting deeper and deeper. And what ends up happening is the first couple weeks of the season, it was like, okay, let's try your way in the first quarter, our way in the second quarter, then we'll go from there. Then it turned into, yo, let us mesh. Let us figure out how we can find the balance of running an offense that you deem fit and the offense that we want to run. Because the offense that the Tampa Bay, I almost called them the Arizona Cardinals of 2016. The offense the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bruce Arians specifically, wants to run, I will say that Brady has probably expanded to that playbook by 30%. I'm going to just keep it as real and objective as I can, but it hasn't been anything major. It's just been little things that make up a large part of what they do. Option routes, play actions, motions, things of that nature. Quick passing, death by 1,000 cuts. And eventually, as you keep putting layers, as you keep putting pieces to the puzzle one by one, and you start to get rolling, you start to get in the rhythm, things just fall into place. Why? Because you got great minds and you have absolutely outstanding athletes playing great football.
So, well said, Mo. I don't have anything to add to that. Real quick, I'm gonna go dive into another one. Big Shot said, "I thought Green Bay ran the ball decent. Why do you think they got away from it, especially when the game got back close?"
Great question.
Here's the reason why, and this is a really simple answer. I just think that they never really trusted the running game unless they're getting. Here's the thing about Green Bay that I have figured out: Green Bay does not consistently use their running game unless they are gashing teams. I've been saying this since 16. If they're not getting 4 or 5 yards a total, they're not going to continue to run the ball. And even in them stretches where you noticed in that game where they were running the ball, they were getting 4 or 5 yards every time they were touching it. And then they would come back and run it again. They get 4 or 5 yards. As soon as Tampa Bay stopped them about 2-3 times in a row, held it to 2 yards. That's when they got away from it. And
Hey,
that's what happened.
Facts.
And see, and that's again where LaFleur is saying, I have the MVP and those type of things, and I need to trust my MVP. But you threw it. They did not run the ball one time in 4 red zone possessions inside of the 10-yard line.
Horrible.
4
Horrible.
possessions inside the 10, and you did not run the ball not one time.
The 2007 Patriots ran in more than them in the red zone. Yeah. Hey, here's what I'll say, and Vic, you could go, right? And I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan. When the apple falls, it does not roll, it stalls. Apple does not fall far from the tree, is what I'm trying to say, okay? And these 3 coaches all come from the same branch. And the one thing we've seen, championship games in the mud, they get away from their identity.
Hey, if you're gonna talk about it, go ahead and talk about it. Because that's what we need to, that's what we need to make sure we understand. MJ, Aaron Jones chest was hurting. Trotter go live. Long live the Chiefs. Tanya says note with the eyeballs. Girl, goodbye. she's so aggy.
I'm all set, man. I'm just ready for this film studies.
Kenneth, hey man, shouts out to Kenneth, man. I look, man. I gotta be honest
with
Kenneth
you. In the comment section,
absolutely, man. I truly think Pat and any Chiefs on the 2018 AFC Championship game are gonna have a chip on their shoulder with Brady. I just hope Chris Jones doesn't get ejected for going back and forth with Brady. I don't think he will. I think him and Brady don't like each other, but I think they have a respect for each other because Chris knows and Brady knows. Because I'm gonna tell you, it ain't but maybe 2 or 3 guys that you're gonna take over Chris Jones at defensive tackle in football.
They shake hands after the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, those are 2 athletes at the top of their peak, at the top of their craft, that have tremendous respect for each other, that are going at it for 60 minutes. Hey, this is why I love boxing, because boxing is the true epitome of sportsmanship. You got 15 rounds to knock somebody's head off, and you got to shake hands before and after. Football is very similar to that. So whatever jawing you see between the games and whatnot, that don't mean nothing. I've seen brothers jaw at each other. I've seen childhood friends jaw at each other. I've seen guys shove and push each other. That type of stuff happens. I don't think the Chris Jones, Tom Brady dynamic is like the Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Rodgers dynamic. I think those 2 guys truly despise each other. And if they meet in the parking lot, it's going to be Cactus Jack versus Triple H. That's what it's going to be. As far as what Kenneth is saying, Kenny, I'm going to be all the way real with you, brother. There is no need for narratives or agendas or motives or anything like of that nature when it comes to these 2 matchups. I remember the conversation you and me had after that game. It was in private. I'm not going to say what was said, okay? Because I just remember you being, there was nothing disrespectful. I just remember him being very upset. And I think if he would have caught D Ford in the parking lot, it'd have been tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. Okay. The bottom line of this game is you got 2 of the very best, and it's going to be straight action. You don't need to build it up in any way other than put in Mahomes versus Brady. That's it.
Real quick, last couple questions before we roll out. Trav says a Tampa 7-0. We're running the ball 20 times or more. The number is at 13 now. Trav, they were actually in every game but one game they won in the regular season. They were 10-0 in the regular season, and they're 3-0 now in the postseason when they run the ball 20 times or more. So they're 13-0 when they run the ball 20 times or more, and add that passing game with it. And then last question of the evening, we got, is Tampa Bay better equipped to guard the red zone motion with Tyreek than Green Bay? And I'm assuming Devin covers Travis. Actually, here's the most beautiful part about this. Levante David and Devin White can trade off on him. But Levante David is also their best blitzer. Excuse me, not Levante. Devin White is also their best blitzer.
Mhm.
So what they like to do is they like to call plays where they will allow Devin White to blitz up the middle through gaps and different things. I have to be honest. You got a lot of things you can do. Travis Kelce is not somebody you stop from getting 5, 6 catches, 80 yards. He's going to get those. He's a great player. If you stop him from getting those things, that means the ball is hitting his hand as it is hitting the ground. And that's what that's what happens sometimes with him. So you just got to hope that he doesn't bring his hands to the game.
Hey,
Besides that, the motion, my thing I'll say, then I'll pass it to the fellas. Yes and no. Why I say yes is because they have the speed at linebacker in the middle. But I say no because it depends on if you're attacking Dean or you're attacking Carlton Davis. I think Carlton Davis is a little bit more susceptible on the edges to get beat around the corner than Dean is, because Dean does throw his body around, even though Dean be getting his ass kicked out there sometimes. Go ahead, fellas.
I'll tell you what they're not gonna do, and is that leave Tyreek Hill one-on-one with anybody anymore.
that's for.
I think they'll be ready for those. I think they'll be ready for that this time.
I mean, we'll get to that because we got a lot to cover. But I think I've seen instances in this season where Todd Bowles didn't have the proper game plan in a certain situation specifically. So we'll see how that develops over these next 2 weeks and what they prepare for. But I think just to answer Tanray's question, is Tampa Bay better equipped to guard the red zone motion with Tyreek? Shout out to 94 Feet of Life. That Warriors team, there's little things you can do. But at the end of the day, you just got to hope they miss. You just got to hope they off. That's the level this Kansas City Chiefs team is on. The weapons that they have are so unique and so dynamic. And to pair that with the most dynamic quarterback ever, because let's be real, when Pat Mahomes stepped onto the scene, Aaron Rodgers was no longer special. And Mahomes is that dude, period. You just got to hope they miss. That's it.
Volume is the key. That's all I'll say until I get ready to break down some stats for y'all. Last question. I'll take this last question. That's no biggie. If Rodgers does leave, where's the best fit? Just immediate reaction. Vic, do you have anywhere?
You asking me first?
Yeah, I'm asking you first.
Man, get that man out my league, man.
Oh man.
I say San Francisco if anything. I say San Francisco if anything. Just to be a fair. I'll say San Francisco. Give him that Kyle Shanahan offense.
Hey, nothing wrong with going home. I was going to say San Francisco, but if there was an option B, go try that system out. See how it works for you. Go try that quick passing, reading defenses, option routes, and all that stuff out. Go try that out. See how it works for you.
So you're saying the Patriots?
I mean, yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that. Go ahead, make that
or
phone
even
call,
Pittsburgh.
Bill.
Or Dallas.
Okay. So I think y'all
wherever he wants to go, he can go.
I think y'all going a little far.
San Fran, New England, or go home.
San Fran is the best fit. And let Jimmy go back to New England so Belichick could be a little happy.
What if I said something like crazy?
Which would be the first time.
Oh. I'm gonna say Indianapolis would be interesting for him.
Nah, I don't like that fit at all.
Well, T.Y. Hilton gives him a deep threat. You got Michael Pittman, who's an evolving receiver. They have a lot of good pieces there that he could use.
The only time he's going to throw deep is if it's single coverage.
Man, the only time he's going to throw to T.Y. Hilton is on a screen, okay? Aaron Rodgers has never had a number one, or matter of fact, number one and number two receiver under 6'1". His number one receivers have always been 6'2" or up.
And with that being said, shouts out to Dennis King.
Dennis been in the lab with us. And so has April.
So Dennis said, he said 18% of Super Bowls Brady has been in. And then Tanya says, "We're used to you saying something crazy." Oh, okay.
Look at
Okay.
Jay hand. Look what Jay said. I didn't think nobody was gonna agree with me on that.
What Jay say?
He said, "I'm kinda with Vic. Get him out of here."
Oh, all right, Jay. 48
You know,
screen throwing touchdowns.
I just
Yo,
want y'all to
it's
know.
off the tracks now.
So with that
I
being said,
when I say it, I'm wrong though, Trav.
I mean, Vic, you got to remember. You got to remember. It's just views, man. It's just views.
Yes, sir. There it is.
And then here
Wait.
comes
There it
Kenneth with another question. Kenneth, I don't mind answering your questions, brother. JJ and Shaquille to the Chiefs.
It's gonna be all Chiefs questions.
Come on, Kenneth.
It's
Come
gonna be
on,
all Chiefs
Kenneth.
questions from Kenneth.
Come on, Kenneth.
Hey.
Kenneth just won the lottery and he asking for a stimulus check. Come
Hey.
on, Kenneth.
He's already preparing for next season. Good.
Hey.
Tell the Chiefs to prepare for next season too already.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you the
Like they ain't
truth.
got something bigger
I'ma
to do
tell you-
right
This
now.
man said
I'm a-
JJ and Shaquille. He didn't
Yeah.
say which one. He said and.
Yeah, I know, right?
He
Just
just want to
greedy.
take everybody. Yeah,
Just
just
greedy.
take everybody.
Hey, I just want y'all to know, JJ, if he signs with anybody, this is not a prediction. It's a spoiler. If he signs with anybody, it's either gonna be Pittsburgh or he gonna go to Tampa Bay. I'm just letting y'all know now.
Yeah.
So with that
Yeah.
being said,
That-
this has
fair.
been views from the 22 Monday night recap show. We appreciate all the comments. We appreciate all the love.
Yes.
We love y'all. We want to say we appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Like I said, be on the lookout on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're going to be throwing some things out there at you guys, getting you guys ready to go.
He said, Jay said, ain't nobody got money this year. The salary cap ain't gonna go up this year.
Yeah. Hey, because I told him, I already told him, I said, ain't nobody got no money. Of all the 4 playoff teams, Buffalo had $1 million. Tampa Bay had $30 million. And starting in the league year, once the Chiefs and the Packers see it, they're both in the negative by at least $10 million.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry Jones asking for a PPP loan so he can re-sign Dak Prescott.
That salary cap staying the same.
Hey, with that being said, we're gone. Views on the 22.
Free April.
2-2, man. We out, man.
Yes, sir.